府国中央人民政府今天成立了。
但是你们难道
刚才也问我啊，我可以回半点去，可有奉告，我也不高兴。
哎，什么叫中国共产党啊？党叫干啥就干啥。
黑夜即将到来，一定要做好准备。
干死共产党！干死共产党！干死共产党！干死共产党！不干死共产党，绝不罢休！
消灭中共是正义的需要。
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Exposing the CCP, and good to see you again. Let's discuss more details about, the plan, how we can take down the Chinese Communist Party. And today we're going to still discuss this with Chris and Mr. True. Hello, you two. Hi, Chris.
Hi Z, and hi Mr. True 007. I'm happy to be on the show again today. Thank you.
Excellent.
Hello, Z and Chris Flower. Welcome to our show, our brothers, sisters. So we're going to continue our episode to take down the CCP and expose the CCP specifically. Thank you.
Excellent. That's great news. And 2026 is going to be a proper year for taking down the Chinese Communist Party. And however, still saddening news is we see a lot of sudden death or die unexpectedly news still around the world. And a lot of people around you may be affected, unfortunately, because the CCP virus has been a toxin, and it's a well-planned, actually, a murdering event to depopulation of the world. But there might be a way to take down the CCP using this to hold them accountable. And Miles School has warned the public a long time ago about the dangers of these CCP viruses and also the vaccines and etc. So let's check out the video from him earlier, and we'll come back for more discussion.
From the beginning of the whistleblower movement to date, my greatest hope has been to seize and confiscate the money of those CCP leaders and their families. If their money isn't seized, it will be very challenging to bring down the CCP. Annihilation of the CCP is inherently a tough job. If they still have money, it's harder than going into space or reaching the sun. This is because the CCP is good at using blackmail, bribery, and honey traps, BGY. Today we are seeing American and Western mainstream media and people in the US government framing, suppressing, and persecuting us everywhere. This is because those lackeys bought off by the CCP's money. They have forgotten the existence of God and lost their reliance on and faith in God. It is because they believed in God and relied on God that they have what they have today. They have forgotten already. They now rely on the CCP and believe in it. As a result, COVID vaccine-caused deaths are everywhere. From a moment when I started thinking about seizing the CCP's money to when I began talking about it, everyone laughed at me, calling me the craziest, most unhinged, and most foolish person in the world. Therefore, almost everyone, so many so-called experts called me a liar and said, "Do you believe what Milesquist says about seizing the CCP's overseas assets?" Just that statement alone proves he's a fraud. Now the CCP released the COVID-19 virus. It has caused millions of Americans and tens of millions worldwide to die. In fact, the actual number of deaths is likely to be even higher. The vaccine disaster to come will be even greater. Yesterday, everyone saw an American professor say that at least 50 million people in the US will die from it. This is minimal, and he said people would die like flies. He also said that now, for everyone watching the live broadcast, among your family and friends, you would see 3 to 8 people who have died. Yes, we're the first group in the world to say this. Now, the U.S. Capitol Hill has officially begun seizing and confiscating all of the CCP's assets in the United States. The first $4.9 trillion for America's emergency relief funds allocated over the past 3 years for the virus and vaccines will be paid by the Chinese Communist Party. On top of that, all the economic losses of $15 trillion bring the total to $20 trillion. And this is just the beginning. I have said that because of COVID-19, the CCP will drain Chinese people's money until they don't even have their underwear left, and the damage will last for generations. As long as the CCP exists, the disaster will last for generations. You may not believe this. Just wait and see. I don't expect anyone to believe me.
Yeah, Miles Guo has been the hero. He's been telling all of us, the CCP's evil plan and the collusion of all these dark forces, so we can avoid taking the dangerous jab. Now everything becomes true. We are seeing millions of people have died of COVID and also vaccine side effects, unfortunately. And now, we cannot resurrect them. If they're dead, they're dead. But we can still use this as a good news to hold the Chinese Communist Party accountable and as a great mean to take down them. So that will be the great topics for today. So let's go to Chris. What's your thought on this CCP virus and this plan laid out by Miles Guo?
So from Mr. Miles Guo's previous video, we understand that to take down the CCP, one must target the CCP's 3 areas: money, propaganda, and the military. The beginning of the video mentioned seizing the money of those CCP leaders and their families, which is targeting the CCP's money. Then linking it to the CCP virus and the poisonous vaccines, the harm caused to the whole world, demanding compensation from the CCP, which can uproot the CCP's financial chains spread all over the globe. And the 2026 U.S. National Defense Authorization Act, Division F, Section 6704, mentions that the report on the wealth of the leadership of the CCP requires the Director of National Intelligence to submit a report within 1 year after the enactment of the bill, asserting the personal wealth, financial holdings, and business interests of high-level CCP officials, such as the General Secretary, members of the Politburo Standing Committee, and members of the Politburo. For example, real estate inside and outside of China, high-value assets, and overseas business holdings. Identify financial agents or entities used to hide wealth, provide intelligence support for future sanctions or freeze. And also on the Division F, Section 6803, declassification of intelligence and additional transparency measure relating to the CCP virus pandemic, requires the declassification of intelligence related to the CCP virus, including the origins of the pandemic, and roles of the Chinese government and concealment behaviors. Connect to the Missouri versus CCP case provides evidence for state level or federal lawsuits indirectly promoting demanding compensation. After forming a precedent, various states and countries can use this to demand harm compensations from the CCP. The economic losses caused to the United States by the CCP releasing the poisons are at least $50 trillion, plus compensation for loss of lives, compensation on a global scale. The CCP fundamentally cannot afford to compensate. And also on the Division 8, Section 1263, expansion of the Chinese military companies list, including on list of Chinese military companies of entities added to certain other lists, incorporates more entities into the Chinese military company list, which is called the 1260H list, including military modernization enterprises related to the CCP, expand the scope of sanctions, leading to the freezing of U.S. research or investment prohibitions for these CCP entities, indirectly supporting assets clearance. And also the Division A, Section 6703, prohibition on intelligence community, contracting with Chinese military companies, engaging in biotechnology research, development, or manufacturing, prohibits intelligence agencies from contracting with Chinese entities on the 1260H list, covering the biotechnology field, restricts the flow of funds, affecting CCP's assets holding. So also that in addition to major events that occurred in 2026 are also targeting the CCP's money. President Trump's arrest of Maduro and the Iranian People's Revolutions severely affect the CCP's petroleum supply. The CCP's money cannot exchange for enough petroleum. These have disrupted the CCP's 2030, 2035, and future plans, not following the CCP's script, but instead step by step leading to the disintegration of the CCP and the takedown of the CCP. So, thank you.
Thank you very much, Chris, for laying down this. Yeah, I think this are the very important piece of information because right now all the world are suffering from the side effect, like economic slowdown or economic crisis from the CCP virus effect. I think a lot of governments wants to use this to leverage their debt ratios or their liabilities, etc. So I know it's not perfect for Chinese people, but that's probably a ransom or the price we need to pay just because of the damage that caused everybody. However, the Chinese people also is one of the biggest victims as well. We need to take that into account, hopefully, in the future jury review. Okay, now we go to Mr. Chu for your opinion, please.
Okay, thank you, Chris, for you lay down the foundations and the critical information about how the CCP is going to pay for what they have done, i.e. that the manufacturing and releasing of the COVID-19 viruses, subsequent to the economic lockdown in the United States and the other Western countries. And also that they also, of course, firstly, as they said, they firstly have actually killed so many Chinese people in Wuhan city first, and then they have shut down all the airplane in the Chinese New Year Eve and allowing all the international flight to flow from Wuhan airport into the rest of the world. And we've seen continuously reported by the CNN. So the evidence is very concrete. Okay. Also, we know that the National Security Act of the United States in Capitol Hill, they want to confiscate the CCP's money. They have a list all the CCP's top leaders, okay, and Communist Party committee members, and also the military generals as well. So I think in the same line, we can confirm that all the money, that the corruption money they have hold are tremendous, because they have stolen basically through the banking system, the old banking system, where they only have 5% deposit, where they lend out all the money the bank doesn't even have. Okay, that's called stolen, and it's a bonds, game. So all that point now into that someone has to pay for it. Of course, that is the CCP. And we can see very clearly yesterday, President Trump didn't even bother to invite the CCP to join the peace organization that he has held for the for the Middle East area, but that is going to be expanded into the rest of the world to replace, I think, United Nations more or less. Putin was even invited, but not Xi Jinping. So that shows they are already out of the game. Okay, the CCP. So I think they are not going to allow them to CCP to be in the world trade as well. China doesn't. It's a big country. It burns a lot of oil, so energy. But by disrupt and disconnect the oil export countries like Iran, okay, and Venezuela and other countries, I think then CCP's oil reserve is getting very low. Sooner or later, they won't have any oil, with the way that President Trump and his executive team leading the world. So I think it is. We're not gonna just saying what as Moscow said that they're gonna pay for it, and as long as CCP does exist, actually CCP doesn't create any money. Like, okay, they just has been stealing the money out of the Chinese banks. The Chinese banks should be all bankrupt many times, but they have used the foreign RMB exchange system to any export. They reported they have 1.5 like a trillion export supplies over the last 12 months. 1.5 trillion. Where is the money? Okay, so the money you and I, all the Chinese people, will never be able to touch the US dollars, because there is a code. Then you're just not allowed to. But the CCP can stolen the money everywhere. So they have basically stolen money, hide in different form of asset, like a real estate, as Moscow pointed out. The most expensive real estate, the property in New York City, okay, in this Central Park area, those are the CCP's topocrats. Those are the guys like Meng Jianzhu, Sun Yijun, and those guys. So they have the money. They have stolen, from the Chinese people for over the last 70 years. So, the first legal battle Moscow initiated against the CCP is with the Dutch Bank. They are supposed to have at least $5 trillion old money from all the founding members of CCP, okay, and the kids, the children. They have hide that much money, but so this is called the Moscow's warfare against the CCP, money warfare against the CCP. Of course, the case still hanging in the air in the UK court. Last time Moscow told us. So we can see that this is going to be game over for the CCP. Once they have no money, then they cannot BGY the rest of the world, the leaders. And we see the Canadian Prime Minister and a few other guys are turning into CCP, trying to engage them together to against the Trump, United States, and the rest of the free world. I think the game is over. Really, they don't have that power anymore. Number one, they technology-wise, military technology especially, okay, surveillance system, attacking assault machines and so on. They're not that advanced. You can see by the way that how when Maduro was arrested, how the detection system provided by Russia and China doesn't even sound out. So now they've been banned. And so I think the same way can be copied. I saw that the special units also been deployed into Iran. Very soon, once the Iran is gone, then basically CCP is going to be alone by itself without being invited to the international stage. So you could have a quick, okay, or lock down trade with China or put tariff up to 120%. You see, within a couple of months, financially, CCP will be bankrupt. But however, they've hidden the money in all kind of ways, like Sang Weijian and those guys who were here from Moscow, and they're trying to attack us and making trouble for our whistleblowers. Those guys, I'm sure that the United States intelligence will know where they are, how much money they have, and so on, what they have done, and the Wu Zhen and those guys. All the money add together. I think once we confiscate the money and strip the money off to pay some of the cost, but then also share with the new federal state of China, we need to retain at least half the money, I just guess, to China to give the Chinese people, because they're the ones who made the money by hard working, and even the organs being harvested, and there are like millions of organs a year. Live people being killed, from children to middle-aged people. Well, Falun Gong especially as well, members. So this is just the CCP's evil act against the humanity. That should not be underlooked. So altogether, they have killed hundreds of millions of people. Use the CCP virus followed by the Japs. Okay, mandate of the COVID vaccination, and plus the One Belt, One Road. Okay, and exporting cows into United States, and all the actions. I don't think the people in the United States in the MAGA room, like Mr. Steve K. Bannon, they told us tirelessly, we're going to look at who is behind, which is the evil CCP. So it is time to take down the CCP, given what they have done, and what Chris just told us. Okay, and the United States already ready legally with the National Security Act, I think, in places. These are the equipment, okay, illegal equipment with the military together. I think United States is ready taking down CCP, and after President Trump would return back from Davos. Okay, Davos basically is finished as well. The green energy stuff doesn't work. Okay, it's only benefits the CCP as well. So what is left? Take down the CCP. Thank you. Back to you, Z.
Excellent. It's a great news that we can share this with our audiences and give them hope. If they, for some reason, unfortunately, some their friends, family members, people around you have taken this could be a way to, as still as a compensation to their own personal health and wealth. So that's one good news. The other one is this will greatly help to take down the Chinese Communist Party and also the evil forces around the world to prevent another pandemic, a man-made pandemic, a breakout in the near future. So we hopefully can intimidate all these evil people. Don't we need to take science and health as very serious cases. We should not use it to kill people. That's definitely a wrong conduct. And let's continue to watch this, and hopefully we're going to make a progress in the coming month or time. Okay, now we still have some more minutes. Is there anything that Chris and Mr. Chu you want to add? Chris?
Okay, so I think when the CCP's money is confiscated, it will also affect the CCP's propaganda machine and also their military, and also that Mr. 007 mentioned the CCP's BGY plan, because without money they can do nothing about it. So, and also that I would like to share one information from Mr. Miles Guo previously is that one of the most important piece of intelligence mentioned by Mr. Miles Guo is that there are over 70 CCP shareholders in Pfizer, this company. On the surface, it was a Western company, but in reality, it is controlled by the CCP. So when the confiscation begins, these CCP shareholders will not escape the sanctions. Thank you.
Yep, exactly. I agree with Chris. I think all the evidence is there. All the narrative is there, already been said many times, and we are members of the New Federal State of China whistleblowers movement created by Miles Guo. We are the whistleblowers, and we've been tirelessly blow out the information through our GTV before, okay, and then our Getter, and in a X as well. So it is time to take down CCP. Otherwise, our brothers sisters in mainland China has been suffering for so long. I think it's inhuman and unbearable. So let's working hard. Let's hope Miles Guo will come very soon. Some good news, okay, from the circuit court yesterday, and then we'll be again together. Okay, do our best to take down CCP with Miles Guo come out, take the leadership again. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you, Mr. Chu and Chris, for everything we have discussed today. So this is so critical and so important, and we need to hold the Chinese Communist Party accountable. They have made serious crime against the humanity. We cannot just let them go, let the criminals go like this. This is not following our ethical or moral code. So we have to take this very seriously. Plus, if we don't hold them accountable now, they think they can just easily get away. They're going to be more serious crime following this. And hopefully this will be the last bio warfare against humanity, and let's prevent that from happening in the future. Okay, thank you very much all the audiences for listening, and we'll continue to expose more truth about the CCP. Let's take them down together and take down CCP. Thank you. See you next time.
Take down CCP.
Take down CCP. Thank you.
The night has come this far, not because it chose to leave, but because it was never meant to stand. Darkness may appear powerful, yet it exists only where light has not arrived. And when the first ray of dawn emerges, its retreat becomes inevitable. This is not coincidence, not fortune, but direction itself, finally revealed. Justice never disappears. It moves forward step by step, gathering strength in silence, finding its footing in the final seconds before dawn. Today, what we welcome is not a miracle, but a morning that was always destined to arrive. In the new year, the dawn is already ahead of us.